All right, so we got another piece here about DeSantis and his new immigration law that is coming out. And boy, oh boy, is it really, really harsh stuff here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the article here. We got DeSantis proposes deadly force to combat drug smugglers breaching border. This awful, nasty, disgusting, deplorable human that happens to be the governor of Florida, just every time I think he's hit the lowest of the low, a new, disgusting, draconian law suggestion is made. And DeSantis seems to always be able to one-up himself in terms of how much of a despicable, terrible person he is. There's just no limit to it, apparently. No limit to how much this guy will go out of his way to be cruel and hurtful and to cause pain and suffering to groups of people that he does not like and he does not think should be here. What a great American, huh? Eagle Pass, Texas. Seek to end the birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants. Keep asylum seekers in Mexico with their American court cases penned. Finish the border wall and use deadly force against some people trying to break through it and bring drugs into the United States. Ron DeSantis on Monday laid out a sweeping plan to restrict immigration at the southern border that reflects his fundamental pitch for the presidency. The Florida governor says he will deliver the ideology of Donald Trump with better follow-through, including by attempting some measures likely to face stiff legal challenges. Trump's campaign immediately countered with accusations that DeSantis is copying and pasting his agenda. So I got these idiots trying to outdo each other in how awful and harmful they can be to people who are trying to come to America to escape poverty and repression and brutality and have some sort of opportunity in this country where we have plenty of it. We have plenty of land. We have plenty of resources to look after whoever wants to come here. Okay? But no, let's try to come up with laws to hurt people and make their lives as miserable as possible. That's what these two idiots are up to in terms of their policy positions. It's just absolutely despicable that Trump's response to using deadly force against illegal immigrants is that, oh, well, he's copying my idea. I came up with the idea to be a complete asshole to illegal immigrants and to make their lives as hard as possible. I came up with that idea first. Just despicable. DeSantis' proposals include rules of engagement enabling U.S. personnel to kill certain people breaking through the border wall. He said deadly force would, of course, be justified against people carrying drugs and showing hostile intent, but did not spell out exactly what that meant. I mean, what? What? This is not America. This is some crazy Asian country where you get the death penalty for drugs, like Singapore, for instance. One of the most backwards countries when it comes to drug policy. So backwards and so overly harsh. Yeah, let's copy them. Because that's what we need in the United States of America. He said that deadly force would of course be justified against people carrying drugs and showing hostile intent, but did not spell out exactly what that meant. If you drop a couple of these cartel operatives trying to do that, you're not going to have to worry about that anymore, DeSantis told reporters. Earlier in his speech, he compared the border to a home invasion. If someone was breaking into your house, you would repel them with the use of force, right? DeSantis said. But yet, if they have drugs, these backpacks, and they're going in and they're cutting through an enforced structure, we're just supposed to let them in? You know, I say use force to repel them. If you do that one time, they will never do that again. Under U.S. law, authorities are empowered to arrest and prosecute individuals who have attempted to saw through or damage the border wall. Custom and Border Protection says deadly force is justified when someone poses an imminent threat of death or serious physical injury to another person. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. If a legal immigrant is putting the life in danger of other illegal immigrants or border protections or U.S. citizens, that's totally different than somebody who's just caught with drugs coming into the U.S. You know what I mean? Where are we going to draw the line? What drugs are we gonna be killing people for bringing marijuana over the border? Does that deserve death? A death penalty? I mean, and how is this going to be carried out? Is it we're going to prosecute the illegal immigrants under the death penalty? Because we've shown that if the Florida death penalty is, if the Florida laws are what we're going to be following, then look at Nicholas Cruz. He didn't even get the death penalty for shooting up 16 people in Parkland High School in Florida. So what's DeSantis' plan here? Are we going to just shoot him? Just shoot him right there, right at the border? The immigration plan, which DeSantis announced near the southern border, marked a shift for the candidate who for months has focused heavily on promoting his record in Florida and using it as a blueprint for governing on a larger scale. A month into an official campaign launch that has yet to dent Trump's dominance in the polls, and amid some criticism of his campaign stagnation, DeSantis is starting to roll out national policy proposals, beginning this week with an issue core to Trump's political identity. His pivot will include proposals on the economy, crime, and combating what Trump first derided as a deep state in the federal bureaucracy opposed to his agenda. DeSantis has started to highlight some policy differences with Trump, criticizing the former president from the right on crime, abortion, and the federal government's response to the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, because Trump's too far to the left. Right. That's the issues that's facing the modern day GOP. Trump's too far to the left. Right. Got it, DeSantis. But on other issues such as immigration, he's trying to draw a different contrast, saying he will follow through on promises that Trump never carried out. I have listened to people in D.C. for years and years and years, Republicans and Democrats, always chirping about this and yet never actually bringing the issue to a conclusion, DeSantis said Monday morning, speaking between large banners reading, "No excuses." He added, "We don't want hollow rhetoric." Trump has previously floated the idea of using force against migrants, telling aides that he wanted U.S. forces to block people from crossing the border with bayonets and suggesting a moat filled with dangerous reptiles. Officials familiar with his comments told the Post in 2019. I wasn't familiar with this until right now. Trump's immigration strategy is to build a moat with dangerous reptiles. Oh my God. That's silly. If the cartels are cutting through the border wall trying to run product into this country, they're going to end up stone cold dead as a result of that bad decision, DeSantis told reporters. Okay, but prosecuting cartel drug leaders, okay, and people who are directly linked to the cartel, okay, and prosecuting them in a harsh way. I agree. People that illegally smuggle drugs into the United States at the behest of a drug cartel, okay, to do business in the U.S., those people should be prosecuted by the law, okay, to the fullest extent. I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is, anybody that has, we can use deadly force against anybody that has any drug entering the U.S. illegally or what have you. I mean, that is not a viable position. That is not a viable position on immigration. That is going backwards. That is sending the United States backwards, is what it is. Immigration and border security continue to be important issues for Republican primary voters who Trump energized with his hardline proposals when he first ran for president. It remains to be seen whether DeSantis can peel away GOP voters still largely loyal to the former president and often inclined to blame Trump's enemies for gaps between his campaign promises and his accomplishments in office. One time you can really move the needle is when you launch your campaign. And DeSantis' kickoff failed to spark momentum, said Alex Conant, the former communications director of Republican Senator Marco Rubio's 2016 presidential campaign. It's unclear whether some of what DeSantis is proposing is possible because it would mean challenging rights explicitly granted in the U.S. Constitution. Birthright citizenship is enshrined in the 14th Amendment. Some Republican rivals have criticized DeSantis as a Trump copycat. America deserves a choice, not an echo, said Nikki Haley. Speaking in front of a barbed wire fence along the Rio Grande, DeSantis said of Trump, I think there's a lot of things he's saying, I agree with, but I think those are the same things that we said back in 2016. Where we differ on is, we're more aggressive in terms of our plan than anything he did in empowering local officials to enforce immigration law. DeSantis said, also listing his plan to lean in against the drug cartels as a way he differs from the former president. Let's see here. Stuff about Trump's immigration policies. They're criticizing the Biden immigration policy. All right, guys. So I'm going to stop reading the article there. This is just not okay. All right. This is not okay. Anybody that supporting Ron DeSantis' immigration policy, anybody that supports Donald Trump's immigration policy for that matter, okay, is an anti-American who wants to send America back to, well, not even send America back, but they want us to look like Singapore, okay? And this is about as anti-American as it gets when it can come to immigration policy. And shame on Ron DeSantis for even hoisting that such a reality should or could exist in the United States of America. Shame on you, Ron DeSantis. Shame on you.